Come here. I just watched Splitsville, and I can confidently say that it's the funniest movie of the decade so far. Outrageous, witty, satirical, and hilarious in both dumb and smart ways. It had me laughing from the very first scene to the very last. When the lives of two dysfunctional couples get messy very fast, the situation spirals into absolute mayhem. Every dynamic is toxic and unpredictable, and the drama escalates to such absurd extremes you can't help but laugh in disbelief. What makes the film special, though, is how it grounds all this absurdity and comedy in real emotion. You still understand all the madness and why these people are self-destructing, and that's why it makes the comedy hit even harder. This movie checks every comedy box. Slapstick, absurdist, and very, very ironic. And even the quieter moments, the more relatable moments, even when you're drawn in and you're really getting emotionally invested, sneak a sucker punch in there and make you laugh.
You didn't see that coming?
Kyle Marvin, the writer of the film, who also is one of the lead stars, plays the lost, bubbling puppy that you usually see in a lot of these sex comedies. And you root for him, even while he's drowning in all this chaos. Most of the film's emotional weight comes from his devastation over his wife, Ashley, played by the wonderful Adria Arjona, wanting a divorce. Their back and forth will frustrate you. It'll make you want to shake the main character, Carrie, and yell at him, "Grow a backbone!" But some of those same moments that frustrate you set up some of the film's funniest gags. Michael Angelo Covino, who directs the film and also stars, pulls off double duty seamlessly. His character's inability to communicate properly with his wife, played by Dakota Johnson, is super relatable and realistic in how most relationships break down in real life. But also, it's some of the sharpest comedy and well-written stuff in the whole movie. And honestly, Dakota Johnson just needs to be in way more comedies. She's born for this. She does a great job in drama films, not so much in superhero films, but she's born to do comedic roles. She does a great job of having those one-liners, those facial expressions, but also has a very realistic, understated tone throughout the movie that's really great. She has the timing and subtle delivery that makes even little throwaway one-liners make you crackle. And while the main cast chemistry is fantastic and it anchors the film and you're following their journey, all the best comedies have to have a great supporting cast that are super memorable. Everybody that's in the supporting cast is firing all cylinders and doing a fantastic job of stealing the scenes that they're in. All have standout moments. None of them feel wasted. And special shout out to the actor Charlie Gillespie. He plays the character Jackson, this wide-eyed, goofy, naive guy who's just hanging around and trying to figure his life out in the midst of all this chaos. His boyish charm and naive energy absolutely steals every single scene that he's in. Other than the performances and the laughs, what also makes Splitsville worth a trip to the theaters to go check it out is his cinematic ambition. There's an early car scene in the beginning of the movie that surprised me and burst with chaotic energy. The movie also has one of the best and funniest fight scenes that I've seen all year that's completely surprised me. And man, there's a one-take scene in this film that just kept building and building and building on all the gags, all the drama, all the jokes that came prior, and it kept building and building to a boiling point till it burst. And it was sad and dramatic as well, but also really, really funny. And the fact that this movie was shot on 30mm gives this movie an old school look while still having a fresh and modern feel in its performances and writing. It feels like one of those prestige dramas but wrapped in a comedic bow. But honestly, straight up theatrical comedies have had a rough run lately. We don't get that many. Most of them are on streaming, and a lot of them is Netflix streaming slop that's not that funny. And when we do get a comedy in film that's really funny, it's usually mixed with other genres. So it might be a thriller with some sprinkles of comedy throughout. But Splitsville feels like a throwback. Think about the golden age of sex comedies with movies like Euro Trip, Superbad, and American Pie. Memorable characters, running gags that creep into your head long after the movie is done, and messages about relationships that feel relatable and really good to explore, but without beating you in your head over and over with the message. It does have an old school feel. It still lines up with a lot of modern classic comedies like Booksmart, Everything Everywhere All at Once, Barbie, Palm Springs, and the really good comedies that we've been getting over the last couple years like Bottoms. It's the perfect bridge between classic outrageousness and contemporary sharpness. Love chaotic sex comedies, relationship satire that only get funnier and messier as the further they spiral into chaos. Splitsville is a must watch. My entire theater that I was watching it was howling, and I actually haven't laughed and cried this hard at a movie in a very long time. For me, it's well directed, well acted, really hilarious, and generally looks really great. Not perfect, but easily the funniest experience that I've had in a theater in a very, very long time. So with all that said, I'm giving Splitsville a B+. Just if you go watch this movie on a date night and you plan to pitch open marriage or open relationship with your partner, this is not the movie to go see. And the question of the day is, what is your favorite comedy of the 2020 so far? Drop your answers down below and let me know. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and you can watch more of my content right now.